Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Welcome back as we continue with more of 40k Warhammer. I should say Warhammer 40k, just 40k lore in general. Today we're going to be hopping into more of Bricky's videos, and I'm excited because we just got done the part 1 and part 2, and those were really big videos, but now we're going to get a little bit more specific, as this title says, every single Warhammer Space Marine Legion in a nutshell. Again, you know, I'm sure a lot of y'all have your own personal favorites when it comes to the lore explainers of 40k, but Bricky is the popular vote right now. Okay, it's the popular vote. I'm more than happy to get to all the other people, but you know, as of right now, and for what I've previously enjoyed on the channel, Bricky has done an excellent job at digesting this incredibly mass story for your boy over here. So again, you know, be sure to still, you know, comment your favorite, you know, 40k YouTuber down in the comments below. Just because, you know, they're not being watched doesn't mean you can't put someone else on in the comments. So please let people know about your favorite 40k YouTuber, so that way, you know, you can put other people on. But as of now, we're going to continue on with this video. For those of you wondering where I've been for a good bit, I took my mom to Italy, out of the country. It was her first time. I just want to say I appreciate every one of y'all for just being patient and for allowing your boy just to be a human being. You know, sometimes I get, you know, the whole social media and the parasocialism, kind of forget that people can be human beings, but it seems like within this community and also the community over on James vs. Cinema, you guys do a really good job at understanding that, and I'm just grateful and appreciative of your patience. But with that being said, I'm happy to be back. We're going to get back on track with the schedule. I'm going to be hitting y'all with not only just 40k Warhammer stuff, but we're going to get into backrooms. We're going to get into, you know, comic books. We're going to get into more video games. We got Dying Light that is about to be finished, and then we got Dying Light the Beast. We got, you know, some other spooky horror games that's coming up. It's going to be a lot more fun here. So again, I appreciate you guys for being patient. Without further ado, let's hop into more of 40k lore.
It's all yours, Special Beam Cannon!
And just to let y'all know, I'm putting all of his socials here, so that way you can support Bricky. Because again, this video wouldn't even be possible if it wasn't for him making this video. So by all means, I mean, you guys already know about him, but still, if you haven't and you're just finding out about his video through me, go ahead and support the original artist, or just the original creator. All right, without further ado, let's get into it, yeah?
Everybody, my name is Bricky, currently stuck in the walls of the most prodigious school in the Imperium by punishment for falling asleep during class. God bless the Schola Progenium. Many of you have come across my Every Faction Explained video. Firstly, thank you. Secondly, we are here to dig a little deeper. Space Marines are the quintessential poster boys of Warhammer 40,000.
Yes,
when people
indeed.
think 40k, they think Space Marines. But there are many types of Space Marines.
And we also figured out that it's not even just Space Marines. We're talking about deities and demons of all kinds of flavors and, you know, spectrums all over the cosmos. It's pretty incredible. So, yeah, again, I would like to consider myself a beginner when it comes to everything that is 40k, but man, this thing is vast. And again, shout out to those that, you know, are constantly reminding people that this is a tabletop game, which is awesome. I mean, the figures look super cool. I might have to start collecting. I don't know. That might be dangerous, though. Let's not get into that.
Formed from 20 separate legions. We are going to rattle them off in order and give you a quick rundown of each one. A disclaimer, like in my Every Faction Explained video, this is a mix of accuracy and memes. If I say the Salamanders Legion specializes in hugging children and petting puppies, they aren't exactly doing that, mostly.
I would like to pet this creature.
But you can infer that they care about civilians and are a bit kinder than the average Space Marine. A Space Marine being a genetically modified super soldier that's had 1 million new and terrifying organs shoved into them, refrigerators strapped to their bodies, and are so far above the average human that they are referred to as demigods instead.
Which is awesome. Again, I have no problem with his way of explaining the lore. I know some of y'all, not a lot, but like some of y'all, you know, you guys have an issue with how he explains things, and you know, I can get it because the chaos and probably the stories within Warhammer, they can be serious, and there's a lot of serious subjects, and it's just serious in nature, and you know, it's just the nature of things when it comes to it, but I appreciate when we can explore nuance and still able to like, I still get it. Like, it's not lost on me is what I'm saying. Like, when he does his memes and everything like that, the serious nature of Warhammer isn't lost on me. It just adds to the comedy.
Each Space Marine has a father, unlike you, a Primarch, which is basically an even bigger Space Marine that was forged in a lab by the God Emperor of Mankind, that gigantic golden dude you see everywhere, who is both the leader and now the martyr of humanity. The Primarchs are his 20 sons, built in a lab, who lead 20 legions of Space Marines, who are their sons, not from a lab, but rather a dissection table, giving them the powers and skills of their associated Primarch via a gene seed, a special organ carrying the genetic makeup of their Primarch and, you know, their seed. So if Jagatai Khan of the White Scars has the genetic makeup that wants him to go really, really fast, then his sons, the Space Marines, also want to go really, really fast. I should note that I am only referring to the legions this time around. If you're interested in sub-factions like, let's say, the Black Templars, then it's not going to be here. However, I do have a excellent Black Templar video. I'd argue it's probably the most accurate one I can think of.
I remember in the last video, he even though they are called the Black Templars, they're not like me, you know what I'm saying? I think it's more so have to do with them either being dead or something like that, unless I'm completely remembering that wrong. But regardless, shout out to my Black Templars, man.
It goes through the whole lore, everything about them. It's a very long video, and I'll put it in the description. Just look up Black Templar video in the description. You'll get what you need. And now, with the easy explanation out of the way, let us begin with our first legion.
Dark Angels. Let's go. Let's get into it.
Dark Angels. Allegiance? Loyal. Primarch
Yeah, I don't think
Lion
so, huh?
L. Johnson, a duelist, a knight, a real asshole, I'm not gonna lie. The single word descriptor, paranoid. The Dark Angels are our first legion, hailing from the death world known as Caliban. Their Primarch, Lion L. Johnson, is what happens when you try to make the side profile Chad meme into a genuine character. He is a master tier duelist, a brilliant strategist, and an overall dick. There are few situations he isn't prepared for, and few fights he isn't ready to lead head on. This makes the Dark Angels have a very Knights of the Round Table vibe. They look like the knights of old with these large suits of power armor, often donning robes and hoods.
I gotta say, I was about to actually mention that. I love that they're wearing hoods. It's cool. I mean, I just feel like it's such a dope thing when you have this giant mass of mechs and just technology on you, and then you just got this robe. you got this hood over your head. It's cool, man.
Their names also follow this. They have like Ezekiel, Azrael, Belial, Samuel, and so on. However, the common thing associated with Dark Angels are the Fallen, a part of their faction that turned traitor against the Imperium, and they are very heavily trying to expunge all knowledge of them from existence. Fallen? What Fallen? Never heard of any Fallen. Do you know about the Fallen? We're gonna take you away and mind probe you to make sure you have never heard of the Fallen. They definitely don't exist, and if they do exist, which they don't, we will find them even though they don't exist. They love their interrogations. They thrive in it. Lionel Johnson is a scorched earth policy sometimes, and it's given to his sons in force, which makes sense considering that when the Lion heard of a Chaos Primarch on a homeworld different Primarch, whose mom was there, he was like, let's nuke it.
That's crazy. And if I remember correctly, they don't typically do that unless, you know, it has to be done. And I'm not sure if he went into why that isn't the case, you know, or why that is the case. My thoughts is because of energy consumption reasons. But yeah, man, somebody who isn't who isn't hesitant on just completely nuking a planet is probably a dangerous person. Especially nuking a planet with their mother on it. That's kind of crazy.
Dark Angels are a special group where they formulate themselves into 3 different factions. The Deathwing Terminators, slow-moving, tough phalanx. The Raven Wing, fast jet bikes and flyers. And the Green Wing, which is your standard Marines. They are a jack of all trades, but not in the sense where they're good at everything, but rather they have a lot of things that are good at specific things. Like instead of 20 people that have a multi-tool, they instead have 20 people with gigantic power tools for every job imaginable. If you like being suspicious about everyone and everything in your surroundings, but you also like to have a whole lot of deep knight type lore, run the Dark Angels.
The One Piece!
piece.
Again, I love that he relates it back to it being, within the board game sense. I think that's always really cool because, again, there's so like this thing is massive, man. Like, this world is giant. The lore is incredibly dense. And so sometimes I forget that it's a tabletop game. So again, I love that he always reroutes it back as to how you, the person watching this, and me, the person watching this, can choose our tabletop characters and which best fits our playing style. I think that's really, really dope.
The One Piece is real!
Our second legion is a special one.
Oh, God. That's very nightmarish, man.
If you can see, the numbers all go to 11.
The Emperor's Children. Allegiance, traitor. Primarch, Fulgrim, a perfectionist, an artist, a sneaky snaky snake. And the single word descriptor, perfection. The Emperor's Children are all about the pursuit of perfection. Perfection in all they do. Perfection in war, in artistry, and perfection in every other aspect of life. Their armor is a gleaming pink, purple, and gold. Their ships have spires of gorgeous marble and gold statues
That's
in
really
their
cool.
honor. Fulgrim is a man who believes the pursuit of perfection is the goal of all things. And I mean, look at him. Can you truly tell me that he is not perfect?
I mean, this man looking like straight up Griffith. I feel like if Griffith was within this world, it would be this. It would be this dude.
The hair, the features. As Primarchs go, he is the one you look at, and if 40K had a guy that would give you the best sex you've ever had and never call you back, this is the fucking guy. Which is why this pursuit of decadence led them to the evils of chaos. Yes, Emperor's Children are our first Chaos Legion, and not just a normal one. One devoted to, you guessed it, Slaanesh, the Prince of Pleasure, god of unspeakable excess.
We know about Slaanesh, okay? We know about it. I mean, it's interesting, and it's no surprise that the colors correlate, right? Color theory depicts that. Usually when you're working with violets, purples, fluorescent colors like that, it is this weird depiction, this twisted nature of perfection, right? But deeper, if you peel it back, it's a contorted version of it. Because obviously, if you chase after perfection, there's only a matter of time before you contort yourself, right? So it makes sense as to why these people were the first victims of chaos.
The Emperor's Children in their pursuit are now horrifyingly mutated beings through Slaanesh's great will. They torture and maim to feel perfection through pain. They screech and attack with sonic weaponry for perfection
that's
through
cool.
sound.
What the hell?
And they slaughter, aiming for perfection in war. Fulgrim himself lost the battle against Slaanesh as a demon sword corrupted his mind and transformed him into the sexy man he was, into the sexy snake he is now. A demon Primarch, corrupted and bringing his legion's will by himself.
I don't think we've heard of a Primarch being corrupted by chaos to the point to where they warped their body physically, right? Because I know that, and you guys can let me know, I think the first Primarch, I mean, the sons of the Emperor, I think it was just good old-fashioned conflict, right? I don't think chaos really had anything to do with it, unless it did. But even then, I don't think none of them got physically warped, right? Regardless, that's crazy. And it's cool that, like, once you get infected with chaos, especially depending on what type of chaos has affected you, that you can physically alter your body, which is kind of crazy.
As far as Emperor's Children go, they are some bad people. They do horrible, horrible things to anyone and everything. In fact, they're such trolls that their battle cry is for the Emperor, despite being horribly mutated and corrupted. If you've ever taken a little too much of a drug, or maybe the music at a concert was too loud and you didn't bring any earplugs, or whatever the reason, you just take all those things and you dial it, and you dial it, and you twist it, and the knob breaks. And that is the Emperor's Children.
God is dead. God, we means dead. And
The
we
Iron
have killed
Warriors.
him.
The Iron Warriors. Allegiance, traitor. Primarch, Perturabo, a warlord, a siege smith, an incel. Single word descriptor, Siege. Continuing the trend of our Chaos Legions, we have the Iron Warriors led by Primarch Perturabo of Olympia. To understand the Iron Warriors though, one must first understand Perturabo. A man so bitter coffee beans run for light. A man who hates the world and everyone in it, who never got recognition for his deeds, who hates his brothers and hates their accomplishments even more.
I wonder if his design, you know, especially with him having iron being the manifestation of it, has anything to do with that. You know, I'm curious as to, I mean, he might go into it more, but just from his character design, it seems like he shields himself a lot using, you know, technology and all this iron to kind of like, I don't know, I'm trying to like make a story about something that I don't really know too much about, but just looking at his character design and hearing just a little bit of his background, I'm curious as to if that had any influence as to what he looks like now.
Someone so laughably petty, so incredibly bitter that he goes full circle to becoming likable. Why? Because he's competent. The Horus Heresy, we didn't talk about the Horus Heresy. Intermission.
All right, let's get it. This is what I was just talking about beforehand.
Son, right? You know, so the Emperor walked into his room. Horus said, Dad, I just gifted 150 subs to Amaranth, and she said my name a ton, and she
Loved me for it.
I really think that I might get to meet her one day. And it kind of played out something like this.
Your feelings for her are not real. They are real to me!
And then it started playing out a little bit more like this.
Let the seas boil. Let the stars fall.
Golly, man.
So it takes the last drop of my blood.
Yeah. So Iron Warriors, the Horus
Damn,
Heresy
boy.
wouldn't have gotten shit done without Peter Turbo. Imagine an entire faction that is the personification of brutal industrialism, where you serve the Legion until your dying breath. You build and you kill and you siege and you kill and you literally summon demons just to take them and trap them in machines and use them as cannon fodder.
That's pretty dope. Listen, this guy could be a real bad dude for all I care, but I mean, if we're just going off of what I'm listening to, that is so sick. I gotta respect him. If I was the Emperor and that was my boy doing that, I'd be like, yo, listen, I hate what you're doing right now, but I'll give you props for that, man.
This is a thing they do. They summon demons to trap and use as shock troops. The Iron Warriors are siege warfare incarnate. They are heavy weapons, they are tanks, they are turrets, and they don't die. They hate Imperials, they hate Imperial Fists.
Do you need a pacifier, Iron Baby? No, I don't.
They are bitter incarnate. Perturabo and the Iron Warriors don't serve the Chaos Gods because they like them. They serve them because fuck you.
So again, I'm curious. I'm curious as to how Chaos didn't warp these guys, right? But I love how he's at least explaining each factions, or at least the ones that use Chaos, why they use it to begin with. And it just sounds like these guys are just like, man, I'm using it because I hate everybody, man. You got a problem with that? That's crazy.
Come on, guys. Let's go.
Not another speeding ticket. I'll fight it in court, but I
White
don't think they're going to
scars.
accept
All
gotta
right.
go fast as a medical condition.
The White Scars.
Yeah, these guys are
Allegiance,
fast.
Loyalist. Primarch, Jagatai Khan, a speed demon, a plane strider, a roast god. Single word descriptor, speed. Hailing from Chagoris. The White Scars are all about speed. They love melee, but they love it even more when they are doing it from a motorcycle or land speeder. Or
Yeah, that
honestly,
Akira
just
poster was
running
fire.
really damn
That was
fast.
dope.
The White Scars are honestly forgotten about a lot, and that's lore accurate. They are a legion that doesn't seek the recognition or glory from the combat they engage in. They engage in it because it is their duty and because they love it. Not in the insane slaughter enjoyment of loving it, but in the thrill of the fight. They are known as the Laughing Killers because they ride into battle with a smile on their face and a chuckle in their throat. And as you can tell by their Primarch's name, they are Mongolian based.
Yeah, I'm about to
Remove
say, the
horses
cons.
and replace
Yeah.
them with motorcycles and land spears, and that's your style.
That's
They're
pretty cool.
heavily
I like
based on
that.
the old times of Genghis Khan, and consider this is 40k and everybody's evil. Now that fits. The white scars are actually physical scars on their body, going back to their heritage on Chagoris. The Khan himself is kind of a dickhead, but a reasonable one. He thinks ahead, he's intelligent, he's patient. He is often underestimated because he doesn't scream his accomplishments from the rooftops, which is what makes him and the white scars dangerous.
I love that. I love that. It's you know, if there's any group that I would play right now, it's definitely these guys, you know. I know we talked about orcs, and I definitely would play as orcs, but when we're talking about legions, I'm thinking about the white scars right now.
His skills are kept at bay, only to be truly shown when the time is needed. The white scars are a forgotten legion often, but that doesn't diminish their accomplishments. All it does is surprise those who underestimate them. Speed, awesome Mongolian vibe they got going on, and if you really like to stab people, that's the white scars for you. Shameless thirst break.
Yeah, man.
Woof, 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 woof.
Space wolves.
Woof, bitch.
The Space Wolves. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Leman Russ. A Viking, a Savage, the Undertaker. Single word descriptor, wolf, 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 wolf. There's so many goddamn wolf units. Skater, how many units in the Space Wolves Codex have the word wolf in their name? The Space Wolves are the 6th Legion and hail from Fenris, a frozen wasteland of a world with their Primarch, Leman Russ.
All right, before he gets into it, just from that picture alone, it would be so cool if they don the wolves that they go and kill, and that's maybe like their initiation into being a space wolf. You know what I'm saying? Just wearing the baddest creature that you killed in order to you know, be one of us. I think that's so cool. That's just what I got from just one picture. By the way, that's why I had to say it. So I'm not sure if he's about to say it, but damn, these guys are pretty dope, man.
I don't really need to spend a whole lot of time talking about the Space Wolves because it's very obvious who they are. They are the second most obvious what their shtick is legion in the 20 legions besides the World Eaters. When you look at the Space Wolves behind, what do you see? Do you see Vikings in space?
Yeah.
You've done it.
Yep, there you go.
Congratulations.
There you go.
Found Vikings
We
in
found
space.
Valhalla.
But they have as much in common with a regular Marine as an all-day Viking with like a Roman soldier. You see, as a Space Marine, your body is so enhanced that you filter out poison, and so you can't get drunk. The Space Wolves distill a special mead out of a horrible poisonous plant that would kill a normal human so they could get drunk. They have fangs in their mouths. They sometimes cannibalize their enemies. Sometimes they eat people because they gain knowledge about them from there and about battle plans. The Space Wolves are savages.
That's
They're
kind of cool. What the hell?
They're Vikings. But despite all of this, they are loyal to their core. Leman Russ is an egotistical guy who just shouts stories and tales of his accomplishments everywhere they can. But at the same time, he was so damn loyal that instead of gunning down his foes, he hit him with a fucking backbreaker to show his devotion to wrestling. If you want Vikings in space, you found it. Play the Vikings in space.
We're gonna build the wall. We have no
Imperial
choice. We have no
Fists.
choice. Build that wall.
Build that wall. Oh
Build
my
that
God.
wall.
Okay.
The Imperial Fists. Allegiance,
Jesus.
Loyalist. Primarch, Rogel Dorn. A builder, a phalanx, and he needs a hand. Single word descriptor, fortify. The Imperial Fists are led by Primarch Rogel Dorn, their homeworld of Inuit. However, they themselves are actually a fleet-based chapter, with their main source of recruitment coming from an enormous moon-sized ship called the Phalanx. The Fists are a chapter you think of when you think
crazy
of
name
duty.
to
They love
call your
to
spaceship.
serve. The love to serve and the inability to be moved. Rogel Dorn is an architect, a master builder, and basically a rock in brain and body. A lack of humor or ability to lie shows that he is as blunt as the weapons of war he creates. Not the swords he makes, but like blunt, strong weapons. The Fists are the same. Take your archetypical American Marine style look, a buzz cut, a hard sense of duty, and then throw in some power armor and a love for building defenses, and you have the Imperial Fist.
That's cool. Gotta respect it. You know what I'm saying? I love that the personalities of these soldiers are just not only built within their genes, but it's all around. Like you said, in their architecture and their personalities and their weaponry. I think it's so awesome being able to see all these characters just being derived from a story such as this, because there's so many. And I think that's why it's so cool to be able to see who relates to one than the other, right? I think it's really cool. You can really have a blast here.
They are immovable. When you find a spot, they're ready to defend. You can't breach them. Their knowledge of defensive warfare is paramount. Without them, the Horus Heresy would have been so much more effective, but thanks to their insane and immovable tenacity, the Imperium lives today. And let's not forget that Iron Warrior and Imperial Fist rivalry. Want to know why the Iron Warriors are so bitter? These guys are the reason why.
Guys, bring the thing! Where is he going? Hey! Hey, that could have killed me! Hey, guys! We missed! Get another!
Dorn and Perturabo are
got
basically two
beef.
sides of the same coin. One is just a bit more level-headed and got better jobs. If you want to be defensive, to be good at everything Space Marines are good at, bolters, heavy weapons, vehicles, you want a classic military fighting force, start fisting.
I am having
That's
a very
crazy.
bad
That's
day.
crazy to
This
say. That's
today
crazy to
is
say.
One of the worst days.
Oh boy.
We got the Night
Oh
Lords.
boy, here we go. The Night Lords. Allegiance, heretic. Primarch, Conrad Kurz. A sadist, a vigilante, depresso espresso. Single word, fear. The Night Lords
go.
are
They got a
my
dope name.
favorite legion,
They got a
hailing
cool
from
name.
Nostromo and their Primarch, Conrad Kurz. They are a traitor legion from a planet known as the Sunless World, or the World of Endless Night. Nostromo is a horrible hive city that is known for being host to some of the worst gang violence, murder, and working conditions around. The only thing keeping the population in check is the suicide rate. The Night
God
Lords follow in
dang,
the
that's
footsteps of their
crazy.
Primarch,
Oh
a man
my
who believed
goodness.
in a twisted sense of justice, and that the only way to make humans compliant is through fear. The Legion's lesson has been lost on them, as their ranks were repopulated by gang members, murderers, arsonists, torturers, and other words I can't say on YouTube, as young as
God.
12 years old.
Golly,
Murderers before
bro.
they were even teenagers, raised to become demigods. Now, fear is what they sow, and flesh is what they reap.
I'm surprised. Like, maybe he's gonna get into it, but maybe these guys don't even need chaos. They are the chaos, right? Like, you learn how to murk somebody before you're a teenager. I don't think you might need chaos to influence you. I think you just might have it in your blood at that point, and I feel like these guys do.
The Night Lords are scum. They are the exact opposite of all other legions. They torture and they maim and they flay because they think it's fun. They run away often so they can come back and kill you with more numbers. They prey on the innocent and the weak. They kill normal civilians because
God.
it's easy, and flee any battle where they don't possess overwhelming odds. They are the antithesis of normal Space Marines. They are scum. One time, a world did not comply to their demands, so they raided one of their ships and brought it into atmosphere. The crowds cheered and clapped as it appears that they had won the battle, and the airlocks opened, and the skinned and flayed bodies of the crew were thrown down in the populace.
That is so insane. That's such a chaotic way to make things rain, bro. Oh no. Imagine just enjoying your day, getting a nice coffee, and you just see skin falling from the sky. As long as it doesn't get into the coffee, I'm good.
In other words, a legion of gangers and criminals. Add together a heavy Slavic influence to them, and you've got my favorite faction.
You have not done the dishes for
Blood
5
Angels.
years.
Let's
So
go.
embarrassed when people come over here.
What does it matter? You bring them over, you kill them. Vampires don't do dishes.
The Blood
It'd be cool if, like, these guys, they get their armor to be that way just because they just don't clean it from the blood of their enemies.
Angels. Allegiance, loyal. Primarch, sanguineous. An angel, a vampire, a dead-ass motherfucker. Single word descriptor, blood. The Blood Angels are 9th Legion, hailing from the homeworld of Baal, with their Primarch, Sanguinius. The Blood Angels are a tragic tale with one of the best Primarchs, one beloved by almost everybody, a genuine angelic figure who led his people to glory, killed by the hands of the traitor Horus before the Emperor's eyes. The
Damn.
death of their Primarch led the entire Legion to madness as their gene seed malfunctioned and created something known as the Black Rage.
Whoa. So, first off, what he just said was crazy, but I didn't know that if one of your leaders dies, it can alter your genetics on the spot. It's kind of like if you guys have watched Attack on Titan, how everybody's connected through their genetics, and you can alter them within the present. Like, you don't have to have futures happen in order for something genetically to modify. It can just be within the present, instantaneous. I didn't know that could happen. If it's just with this, then that's wild. But if it could be with all of them, damn. Yeah, no wonder you don't want your leader to die. It'll F everyone up.
The Blood Angels degrade over time, experiencing something called the Red Thirst, which gives them a genuine vampiric thirst for blood. As their minds degrade and break down, they get angrier and angrier, becoming berserk killing machines with no other goal than to tear everything in sight apart. But they don't see it as that. They see themselves there, at their Primarch's demise, with Horus in sight. And to them, it's time for vengeance.
So they probably got beef with the Iron. Not the Iron Fist. It was the steel ones, right? They must go crazy for them then.
That Space Marine over there, that Chaos Space Marine, that's Horus. Kill him. That Orc War Boss over there, Horus.
Oh God, everyone is that to them.
1,000 Horuses. Horai. Kill them all. Did your toast come out a little bit burnt? Horus sabotaged your toaster. Destroy the toaster. Destroy it. Do it. Do it. Kill your toaster.
I love how he's
This
playing
slow,
Pains.
debilitating
Pains.
disease takes over the
OST
Blood
from
Angels, and
Naruto.
it gives them this angelic, vampire, and Catholic-inspired imagery. They have chalices of blood. They rest in coffins and can even use
Damn.
psychic powers to sprout
That coffin
angel
said
wings from
Airbnb.
their bodies. They are a tragedy through and through, and the only thing that will look more tragic are the mangled bodies of those they come in contact with.
I got a diesel engine.
Iron
And honey, we
Hands.
forgot to
10th
mention,
Legion.
we're gonna take your job away.
The Iron Machinist, an inventor, and not a great head on his shoulders. Single word? Bionics.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean that's what I assumed from one of the. That's a crazy video, by the way. That's OG. One of the things I saw from their images that he's shown prior to going into them was they had a lot of cyberpunk attachments, bionicle attachments. So it's cool that these are like more bionicle based. I need to say that word more often. Bionicle based. That's cool.
The Iron Hands are from the home planet of Medusa and their Primarch Ferrus Manus. Does Ferrus Manus have an iron hand? You fucking know he's got an iron hand. The Iron Hands believe that the flesh is weakness. But despite all of their enhancements, despite all the things that made them demigods, replacing some of the flesh with bionics will allow them to serve the Emperor more. They go hard into vehicles and dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts being giant walking sarcophagi that have wounded Space Marines piloting them from the inside. Vehicles, metal upgrades. These are the things that make up this legion. Their tech marines have servo arms sticking out from all directions. They have a wide array of mechanics and extremely often replace limbs with metal ones, serving all kinds of different functions to deal with their enemies. The Iron Hands are also not particularly nice. They're kind of assholes. I mean, Marines are already normally pretty big assholes, but they're a little bit up there because
I mean, it would make sense. I mean, if they hate flesh, it's probably just not the flesh on them. It's probably the flesh on you, too. You know what I'm saying?
of their flesh, civilians
You know
made
what
of
I'm
flesh, because you see, the flesh is weak. Flesh is corruptible. Bionics, the strength of the machine is pure and cannot so easily be corrupted. So if you want people who have this little techno fetishistic vibe to them, that love their vehicles and their walking coffins, hit up the Iron Hand.
Hey, shout out to Adam Smasher. I feel like Adam Smasher, Cyberpunk would fall in love with these guys.
Understand, Commander? I was never here.
Legion 11.
Oh, okay. What is happening to some of these legions, bro? What is happening? What the heck?
Why, hello there. I have returned from touching grass. I know. I'm pretty cool with the grass touching. And now let's continue our Warhammer lecture.
This ruffles my jammies.
World Eaters.
Okay, so what's going on here? I am a super sandwich!
The World Eaters. Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Angron. A butcher, a slaughterer.
Like extremely, earth-shatteringly, unreasonably fuck-ass mad.
Single word descriptor, anger. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you mad?
I could be wrong, but I'm only going to say it here just to let y'all know I'll be paying attention. But is he the one that took out parts of his brain because it got in the way of him being angry, so that way all he could think about is anger? Is he going to be this one?
Do you just fucking hate everything? Do you want to murder everything in sight and get rewarded for doing so? Then you should join the World Eaters. Home planet of Nuceria and Primarch Angron, who, if the name didn't suggest, is real fucking angry. Angron was raised a slave, forced to fight in gladiator pits. When he refused, they shoved old world tech into his brain so that if he ever felt any emotion other than anger, it caused him extreme pain.
Damn.
All his sons, wanting to be
That's
like
pretty
their
tragic.
dad, also put a
Goodness
version
gracious.
of these nails in their brain. So now you have an entire legion who literally feel unimaginable pain if they are feeling any emotion other than anger. Slap them with a freight train of armor, 2 goddamn chainsaw axes, and you can see what's gonna happen. It's no wonder they're corrupted by Khorne. They're honestly a surprisingly sad legion that I actually screwed up in assuming that
And I believe Khorne is one of the chaos demons, similar to Slaanesh. I think Slaanesh is like the newer one, but Khorne is the one that's just all about war. So yeah, I mean, it's like little brother linking up with big bro.
they were all just angry murderers. I mean, they are, but they didn't start out that way. Their Khorne corruption degraded their intelligence, their free will, and made powerful warriors into arguably even more powerful warriors, but blunt, like frothing at the mouth psycho warriors. The World Eaters, like I mentioned in the Space Wolves, they wear their concept on their sleeve. They are angry, they want to kill things, they want to kill you, and maybe some of their friends, and that's the faction. They're red, they're mad, they're gonna run at you and cause death. If you like that, you play the World Eaters. Or you like because they were, at one point a lot better than that. Most of Warhammer was a lot better than that. I was once a lot better than that. That was when I was in college.
Yeah.
I didn't finish college.
How about that?
Neither did Angron.
Ultramarines.
It's not done by sunrise. I'll cut your balls off.
The Ultramarines. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Rabute Gilliman. That's how it's said. An analyst, a diplomat, a blueberry Boy Scout. Single word descriptor, duty. When you see Space Marines on a box or just Space Marines in promotional material, notice how they are always colored blue. These are the blue Space Marines. These ones here, the Ultramarines, who hail from the world of Macrog with their Primarch, Rabute Gorilla Man. Ultramarines are the white bread of Space Marines, the grilled chicken with salt and pepper. This is by no means an insult. They are plain Jane, but that's also because they are so goddamn good at their job. Their skill for warfare is paramount, but so is their ability for leadership. Gilliman for a while was a damn boring Primarch for all the reasons he was great, because no matter how hard you try, you don't win a war without logistics.
I mean, basically sounding like he was like the Tom Brady. He was the Tom Brady. You can hate him all you want, but I mean, dude's a GOAT for a reason, right?
Without supply lines, without trade routes, without infrastructure and economy. You don't win anything without all that stuff, and Gilliman knows it, which is why he has one of the largest standing empires in the Imperium, named Ultramar, which is why his sons are the most recognizable of all the Space Marines, which is why the only thing that rivals the weight of their victories is the weight of their egos. They are good at everything and bad at nothing. They are great at everything. Other legions can do other things better than them, but they are good at everything. The most interesting thing about the Ultramarines is their characters, as they are all now inflicted with various amounts of ultra depression for many reasons. Gilliman is, at the time of recording, the only playable Primarch currently on the tabletop, and the only one that has returned to the 41st millennium for the Loyalist side. He took one look at what his empire has become and immediately wanted to fucking die. Being forced to leave everything he once hated, and Imperium rotten to its core with his sole responsibility to save it, is kind of what makes him interesting. They are a perfectly standard legion with perfectly standard ideals, and great if you want a simple, clean slate.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Death Guard.
Funny.
That has to be that one. They have to be corrupted by the one chaos demon that's a decay. I forgot his name.
Poop funny. Woo.
The Death Guard. Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Mortarian. A Reaper, a Poison, an ungodly stench. Single word descriptor, rot. The Death Guard hail from Barbaros,
that's the word.
with the Primarch Mortarium. The 14th Legion were known for their incredible resilience to damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Where the Imperial Fists were defensive thanks to tactics and posturing, the Death Guard were resilient because they could take a punch or a gut shot or a cannon to the chest and just keep on moving. They are slow, yet they are resistant, which was only confounded as a Death Guard captain, Typhus, codename Dickhead, sold them out to Nurgle, god of rot and decay.
There we go. His name was Nurgle, the god of rot and decay. So I wonder, because we mentioned now 3 of the 4 demons that are, within chaos, right? And the umbrella is the warp. So the last one is the one that's like sly and sneaky and I forget its name, but I wonder who's going to align themselves with that one. It's a lot harder to do. With Rot, with War, with Slaanesh, I can see it because they're a lot more to the point, but it's a little bit more difficult with the other one.
Now, the Death Guard are a Nurgle-worshipping infected legion whose ability to feel pain and take damage has all but just gone away. They wade through gunfire, able to kill normal Marines 10 times over and continue unharmed, all while spreading rot and disease in the name of their dark, very stinky master. Where the Death Guard enter, plague spreads. People get sick and they die. They spread debilitating disease to all around them. Why would a legion need to be anything more than very tanky when their enemies are falling over, puking, firing out of both ends, and having their skin peel off just by their presence? Entire worlds infested with a zombie rot, swarms of insects that eat flesh and metal alike, all while the legion advances slowly, painfully, allowing the disease they spread to take its toll before they reap the lives they believe belong to them. And look at Mortarian's model, dude. The man is baller as fuck. A gigantic
cool. I love how the rot is basically has not only just altered his body, and again, it's cool to see how other demons that are heretics, their physical bodies adjust to them being swayed by demons, but just even his armor too is built different. It's cool. It's a cool design. He also got wings. That's awesome.
Scythe. Come on now. The Death Guard.
For my next trick!
1,000 Suns.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
The 1,000 Suns. Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Magnus the Red. A scholar, a sorcerer, a fucking nerd. Single word descriptor, magic. The 1,000 Suns hail from their homeworld of Prospero, with their Primarch Magnus the Red. The final of our 4 major Chaos God factions, the 1,000 Suns are disciples of Tzeentch.
Here we go. Okay, so I'm so happy that I be saying things because it sounds like Bricky knows exactly how to answer them right after. So yeah, there we go. We got all 4, and they're assigned heretics. And, it makes sense as to why this one would be connected to Tzeentch.
Changer of ways. Heavily inspired by their Egyptian theming, the Legion themselves are slaves to the god of trickery and change. Most of them no longer even having a physical form, reduced to just dust, piloting suits of armor at the whim of a sorcerer
how the hell
leader.
they die
The 1,000 Suns do not deserve their fate. There's a common joke that Magnus did nothing wrong. This is untrue. He has done much wrong. However, he is very sympathetic, mainly because the Space Wolves and Lehman Russ sought to end their rivalry through the annihilation of their legion, escaping only through the assistance of the Changer of Ways, and forever changed because of it. Meanwhile, magic is their main tool. Take some Lovecraftian style abilities, the eyes everywhere, and potent spells to be cast at their foes, whether these are bolts of psychic lightning, reversing time itself, opening up portals to unreal.
That's pretty powerful. What the hell? And it again, I love that all of this is just put into how they're designed. You know, we have the Egyptian concepts with the magic, with the Lovecraftian horror that is placed all within this thing, and then you put a deity behind it as well too, like what was his name, Zeech, and you get this awesome thing. This is just so cool, man. I love it.
Reality, or changing the very fabric of the universe. The Thousand Suns sorcery knows no bounds, and they are very good at it. If you're a fan of like wizards, your classic style of spellcaster, and you want a ton of them, combined with a tragic backstory and a Primarch who, like Mortarion, looks fucking baller, the Thousand Suns are for
really
you.
awesome.
You fucking asshole! There's no way. You're a fucking cheater. You're such a sore loser. You're a cheater. My dad works at Nintendo!
The Sons of Horus, or the Luna Wolves, or the Black Legion. Allegiance? Heretic. Primarch? Horus. A warlord. A treasured friend. Or the traitor himself. Single word descriptor? Assault. The Sons of Horus are the formal name of Horus's legion, hailing from the world of Chthoniya. The Sons of Horus
Yo, so many worlds
were
blew
assault
up,
troops.
man.
The strength of their attack was some of the most powerful in the legions. While the White Scars may favor speed for their strikes, the Sons of Horus were known for their overall offensive power. It was even said that if the Sons of Horus met the Imperial Fists, they would be at a stalemate for eternity. However, the Sons of Horus are no longer, because, well...
Yeah, didn't he murk him? Didn't he kill his son? Isn't that what happened? You know, the big dog himself had to be like, yo, son, enough.
They are now instead the Black Legion, led by Abaddon the Despoiler, who claims to succeed where his father failed. The Black Legion are still an offensive and assault-based force, but they act much like the Ultramarines, but for chaos. Your standard black and brass Space Marine, who are known for recruiting in all different kinds of avenues. Anyone can become a member of the Black Legion. Anyone can swear allegiance to the War Master. You gain favor by not just one, but all four gods equally. Their famous line, "Let the galaxy burn," is the best way to describe them. It doesn't matter what the outcome
that
is.
goes hard to
So
paint.
long as the Imperium dies, the Black Legion has done its job. They are a legion formed from hatred and spite, with a clear goal in mind. As the Dark Gods are calling, and the Black Legion are sure to answer.
Hello. Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord
Word
and Savior,
bearers.
Jesus Christ?
No.
It wasn't fucking optional!
The Word Bearers. Allegiance?
Oh, God, I don't want
Heretic.
these guys
Primarch
knocking at my door, please.
Lorgar Aurelian, a preacher, a fanatic, a choir boy. Single word descriptor? Zeal. If the Black Legion answer the call of the Dark Gods, what if instead you decide to call the gods first? Well, then the Word Bearers are for you. The 17th Legion, led by Primarch Lorgar on the planet of Colchis.
Ah, thank God. Of course.
Originally obsessed with worshiping the Emperor of Mankind as a god, they found that despite his divinity, he was not worthy of worship because, you know, he raised their equivalent of Jerusalem to the ground for daring to worship him. Like, could you imagine if God actually showed up and was just like, Jerusalem is stupid, it just destroyed the whole thing? Like, what would that do to your head? But there are gods that want worship and will reward those who do. The Word Bearers are chaos worshippers to a T. All chaos gods. They specialize in demonic rituals, the summoning of demons, and the mutual possession of their own troops. They welcome demons to their bodies to fight as one. They exalt the dark gods themselves for aid, and guess what? They answer. In the world of 40K, Satan doesn't just...
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That's a scary thing. the fact that they do that and they answer, oh boy, yeah, that's a scary fact right there.
Call you back. He hops in his GT Mustang and he crashes on your couch. In the world of 40K, your rituals will end with genuine results. The word bearers know this. They know through sacrifices, through devotion, through dark baptism, the gods will answer and they will be rewarded. So they use it. They bring forth demons. They bring forth possessions. They bring forth the power of the neverborn, the damned, and those that hide in the dark to bear against the Imperium. Lorgar sits there, smiling, as the truth he always knew, the existence of gods and the importance of faith is a reality. It is a tool he is using to rend the galaxy.
I love that. I love that. I love that. That's his stick, man.
Exclamation mark. Fire!
Now we got the Salamanders.
Help me!
The Salamanders. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Vulcan. A Forge Master. A Behemoth.
Yo, do you see that freaking hammer, bruh? What the hell? I mean, if you get hit by that thing, what is gonna do the most damage? I mean, is it the gold? Is it the steel? Is it the, like, my God, that thing is decked out.
Behemoth, a very huggy boy. Single word descriptor, fire. The Salamanders hail from Nocturne, a volcanic planet home to their Primarch Vulcan. They are the largest of the Space Marines, not due to numbers, but rather size. Vulcan, he is an enormous slab of beef, by far the largest of all the Primarchs. However, don't let his size fool you, as he is also the kindest. Salamanders have the juxtaposition of looking frightening, being larger than other Marines, while also boasting an ashy, like coal color skin and blazing red eyes.
So I think these are the guys that I was talking about, where he mentioned them being like, oh yeah, there's like black people in this. But no, what he basically is talking about is, you know, just due to their environments, the ashes from their homeland has caked and bathed their skin into blackness. So, I mean, I also do think the other guy that he showed was a brother. I mean, he just looks like a brother. So, shout out to him for representing. But it's cool that, you know, despite their appearance and their very almost demonic fire eyes, these guys are the kindest ones. I think that's really cool.
While simultaneously carrying around all manner of flame weaponry. So your average civilian might be spooked, but in reality, they are by far the kindest of all the legions to those civilians. Vulcan believes that to safeguard the Imperium is to, at the end of the day, I mean, safeguard its people. So unlike other legions who put their lives far and above the average human, the Salamanders spend significantly more time trying to save them.
That's
often
awesome.
taking
Hell yeah.
numerous losses by doing so.
Shout out to my
They are
brothers.
very independent as well. They're forgers and blacksmiths, maintaining their own weapons and crafting versions of it. They also have the very rare privilege of being able to see their families even after becoming a Space Marine. They care, which is the funny part, because the 7.5 foot tall giant with flaming red eyes who just reduced a traitor to bubbling metal says, "You have nothing to fear, young citizen. Take my hand." If you enjoy fire, melting
cool.
things,
I like that.
and being the nicer
I
of
play
the
as these
Marines,
guys too.
Salamanders are for you.
Raven. Oh, the stealth, huh? They're stealthy.
Sneak attacks don't work if you yell it out loud.
The Raven Guard. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Corvus Corax. A raven, a shadow, an industrial
like
dance
Keanu Reeves.
DJ.
What the
Single
heck?
word descriptor, stealth. The Raven Guard are the final Loyalist Legion at 19 and hail from the planet Deliverance with Primarch Corvus Corax. If it hasn't been made clear enough already, the Raven Guard are stealth specialists and proficient in all manners of assassination. Despite this, their signature winged jump pack and double lightning claw look is, well, not very stealthy. They are named after, of course, the Raven and embody the entire concept of it as a herald of death. They are stealthy, patient hunters that have no problem with waiting
guys sound
and waiting
cool as hell,
and
too.
waiting until the moment to strike is at hand. It's not easy being a stealth faction when your stealth involves people in 1 ton of power armor, but they find a way. That, more than anything, should not be used to show how ridiculous 40K is. even though it is, but rather to show how good the Raven Guard are at their jobs. It's not about them
that makes
sneaking
sense.
around you without being seen, but it's also about them having lied in wait for so long that it wasn't until they were in striking distance that you even realized they had been there. And also, if you want, you know, edgelord Marines with a long black haircut, pale skin, ravens everywhere, if you want to field assassins and snipers abound, then the Raven Guard are for you.
He could be in this
Alpha
very room.
Legion.
He could be
Here
you.
we go.
He could be me. He could even be... Whoa, whoa, whoa! What? It was obvious.
The Alpha Legion. Allegiance? Heretic. Primarch, Alfarius, and Omegon. Saboteurs, destabilizers, they're in your walls. Single word descriptor, espionage. Finally,
Oh, that's cool.
20th
Stealth
Legion,
versus
the Alpha
espionage.
Legion, led by Alfarius and Omegon.
They're
The
in your
only
government,
legion
basically.
with two Primarchs who were split as twins. The Alpha Legion are heretical, we think, and specialize in destabilization of society and armies. Their entire shtick is the Hydra, because when you cut off one head, two more take its place. All of the Alpha Legion look exactly like their Primarch. Olive skin, shaved head. All claim to be Alfarius. All are liars.
That's really cool. What? Yo, that's actually incredible. I love that because it's like it's like shuffling the cup, you know? You just won't know. I think that's a great way of masking identity, ironically.
They make the largest use of sleeper cells and cultists in the Chaos Space Marine factions because it's extremely easy to take over a planet when you
Poisoned our water supply, burned our crops, and delivered a plague unto our houses.
Where the Raven
That's
Guard
very
use
true.
stealth and sabotage to eliminate their enemies, the Alpha Legion prefer to weaken them over time with sleeper agents, impersonations, basically anything you could imagine from a hardcore spy movie or Cold War level espionage. Being Alfarius is not only an honor, being Alfarius is a requirement. There's a story of someone
love that.
chasing down an Alpha
I
Legion
really do.
agent for years upon years, and when they finally catch up with them and they see that the agent is wearing the same face as their pursuer, because this was the plan all along, to kill him and take his spot. We're talking facial reconstruction surgery, we're talking hacking, we're talking political assassination and impersonation, everything. They are Space Marines in name only, because being a strong stoic warrior is not what the Alpha Legion is interested in. In fact, the Alpha Legion is interested in you not even knowing that the Alpha Legion is a thing.
Yeah, how about that?
I am Alfarius.
How about that?
You are Alfarius. We are all Alfarius in his Lord's glorious army. Thank you everyone so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a little something. I hope if you were on the fence about what Space Marines you wanted to field, you would now have a better idea of what you want to play.
Again, Bricky, I gotta say, you do an excellent job at detailing these Space Marines, and again, just always bringing it back to the tabletop. I think that is so important, being able to, at the end of the day, bring it back to the original source material and allowing the gates to open to those that are interested in choosing and diving into not only the lore, but the actual tabletop game itself. So guys, this was such an incredible video. Let me know in the comment section below, what is your favorite faction? Why is it as well? You know, don't have a whole war, okay, in the comment section. But you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I'm gonna allow it for this time. I'm gonna allow it for this time because this is Warhammer 40K. So please go to war in the comment section, because think of this as like, you know, this is just, you know, the chaos pit, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just the warp. The comment section is just the warp. I'm letting it happen. So pop off in the comment section. I love it. It feeds me. It'll feed you. We can all die together. Guys, this has been just a fun time. Let me know and recommend me other videos. As always, you know, I recommend checking out all the other content that we got on this channel. Not only do we have more Warhammer lore, but we got video games, we have other reactions, and that's not going to stop anytime soon. So again, I appreciate y'all. Be safe, and y'all, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.